Set for Mariano.
All right.
It's 30,000. That's going to put Brad all in.
What's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Pav, and today I'm going to be mixing it up and breaking down a hand between popular YouTube vloggers Brad Owen and Mariano. Now, this hand caused a bit of debate on Twitter. It's a 25-50 cash game with a $100 and $200 straddle running this hand. Brad Owen is $20,000 deep, so with the straddle, it's 100 big blinds effective.
Raise. 7 raises to 500. I'm in here. I'm in the mix.
You have a queen? Or?
No way. You had a queen.
Yeah. You can see it on TV.
Alex, I gotta know, what's up with the exact sizing, the 21-7, like why, what is that? I gotta know.
I don't understand my brain sometimes too, man. I'd love to explain it to you.
I wanna know.
Maybe we can do like a autopsy when I pass away. It just seemed right, man.
Maybe some secrets are better left untold.
Yeah.
7 raises to 35.
Mariano with the jiggities. Again, 4 bets to 3,500. Brad
Yeah. Like,
with the 10s on the
my
button.
brain's like, it's bad.
Here we go, folks.
All right.
Brad looks down at 10s and 3 bets on the button, which is very, very standard. It folds back over to Mariano where he 4 bets. And this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because I think before we go to the flop, let's break down the ranges a little bit and see what they look like. Now keep in mind the ranges are going to be a little bit different in live here with the 100 and 200 straddle running, but for the most part they are 100 effective and these ranges are quite accurate. So this is generally Brad's strategy here, just 3-betting a lot of suited hands, some suited aces, a lot of pocket pairs, and a lot of good ace-x. And once it folds back over to Mariano, his 4-betting strategy looks like this. And jacks is pretty much going in there all of the time, so you have jacks plus, even ace-queen also 4-betting at a really high frequency. So if you're wondering why ace-queen likes to 4-bet a lot here, it's just because this is the 3-betting strategy from the button. It's a lot of these suited hands, so when you 4-bet a hand like ace-queen offsuit, when you get hands like jack-9, jack-10 suited, king-10 suited, king-9 suited, you put all these suited hands that can 3-bet call, like ace-queen's going to crush ace-jack and ace-10 suited, so it gets to 4-bet for value here and clear out a lot of hands that have live cards against it. So I'm sure the ranges play a little bit different if it's like a button 3-bet versus the high jack or the low jack, but button cutoff ranges are still very wide. You can 4-bet very heavily here with ace-queen offsuit. But in this case, he has jacks, which is a pure 4-bet, and once you face the 4-bet, button strategy is as such. They're mixing slow plays with kings, queens, and jacks to dominate that polar part of their range, as Mariano is not going to be 4-betting 8s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and he's mixing 4-bet with 10s, so that makes sense as slow play, and a hand like ace-king offsuit just wants to get it in. Suited doesn't mind mixing in some slow play here because it's going to dominate a lot of the 4-bet bluffs and have equity pretty much against everything, so it's nice to have that a little bit in your range. So Brad makes a really nice call here with 10s, as he's not going to be stacking anything worse, so no need to shove. Going over to the flop.
Set for Mariano.
Bets 3,500.
Brad makes the call here.
The flop is jack 8-5, 2 diamonds, and Mariano c-bets for around half pot here. The pot's 74.25 and he c-bets 3,500. This is a little bit too large for my liking. There is going to be some half pot betting going on here, but jacks top set on a relatively dry board with the 8 of diamonds and 5 of clubs. Brad's really not going to be 3-betting much 8 and 5x, which then calls a 4-bet. So to size up here is a bit unnecessary with the jacks. I think checking or small betting is good. And to confirm that, I've loaded up the hand here in PO. A little side note here, during the bet, right before Brad calls, Mariano shows his hand to Andrew Nemu, who is actually vlogging this hand. So Brad didn't see this in real time. However, you know, you can look into it how you want. This could either be Mariano showing off a really strong hand, or it could be him showing a hand he's about to bluff with. So whether or not Brad saw this, I don't think makes a big difference, but you can be the decider. We see that a lot of small betting is going on here for bet 25 and bet 50, and Jacks here never wants to go into a big size. It's either check or small bet, splitting down the middle half the time, and yeah, there's really no hand that's pure C betting here, but there is still going to be a heavy amount of bets, checking 33% and betting 77. So he C bets 50, which is a little bit odd, but we're going to go into it. And facing bet 50, Brad has a pretty easy call with 10s and a diamond. You can see the 10s with no diamond deciding to mix fold for bet 50, whereas if there was a bet 25, those hands would then always be calling. So 10s, yeah, always calling here with a diamond, but with the bet 50, let's play that line and see a turn.
In big trouble, needs some help. Does pick up the diamond draw now.
Wait. All right.
On the flush completer, the overall strategy here for out of position is to check 40% and bet 60%. There's a lot of shoving going on with a little bit of small betting, but no medium betting at this SPR with the flush completer. So what does Jacks do? Jacks is pure checking here. Now the reason you're seeing such a small weight of Jacks is because we played the bet 50 in the flop, and in the solver it prefers a much more small betting. So if we had selected the small size to begin with, you'd see a far bigger weight of Jacks here. So don't pay too much attention to that. We can see a hand like Queens plus all want to bet. They never want to check here because they're still getting some value from 9s and 10s with the diamond or the Jack X. So there's a reason for that. Interestingly, Queens and Kings with a diamond are still shoving. Now there's a tiny bit of small betting with Kings with a diamond, but I thought there would be a lot more small betting with Kings and a diamond. But like I said, the EV it gains from getting called by 10s and 9s with a diamond makes sense why it prefers to shove. Whereas Aces with a diamond is doing far too well here and just needs to pick a small size. Also keeping in mind that Brad still has a hand like Ace Queen with a diamond in his range, so when you have Kings with a diamond, you don't want to give that a great price. So once shove is played here, even though it was with the incorrect hand, what is the solver doing? 10s with a diamond is pure calling, and 9s with a diamond is also pure calling, whereas Ace Queen with a diamond is always folding here. The range is going to be far too strong against out of position here, and calling with a draw, unblocking a lot of the bluffs like Ace Queen, Ace King with a diamond is not a very good decision. Imagine calling here with Ace Queen, Ace of diamonds, only to see Ace King, King of diamonds. Pretty disastrous. So once Mariano goes all in, Brad has a very tough decision. If we open up an image of Equilab here that I did last night as I was tweeting angrily away, we can see that 10s has 49% equity here versus range. Now, I did see a lot of people say that Brad, for the most part, is going to be up against a lot of combo draws or crushed. And yes, that's true. He's going to be up against a range that has a lot of equity most of the time. But that doesn't matter. In cash games, when you get in the right price, you simply call, because folding is not going to be making more money than calling. That's the whole point here. Now, whether or not you believe that hands like Ace Queen and Ace King offsuit with a diamond like the 4-bet free and keep barreling here, you can leave that for debate in the comments. Let's see how the hand plays out here, though.
7 bets, 30,000.
That's super fun.
That's 30,000. That's going to put Brad all in if he makes the call. Makes the call here. Brad looking for a diamond.
Do you want to just go once? I don't care.
It's up to you.
Okay, let's go once then. It's up
One
to me.
time?
They're going to run it
It's
once.
up to me. Sure.
No diamond. Mariano with the set will take all of Brad's chips.
For those wondering, at the end of the cash stream, Brad finished up the biggest winner with plus 53k, although he did tweet that he had won 68,000, so perhaps the tallies are wrong in the graphics here. A little shout out for Doug, who created Infinite Poker Hands, which gave me a really good template on how to structure this video. In the future, I will try not to make mine as much of a clone as his is. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, subbing, and liking. If you disagree with the analysis, leave a comment below. If you want to see more stuff like this, let me know. Thanks, guys.